Merry Christmas, Muppet Babies! I have a new episode of Primetime Crisis for Steven Universe. This episode is 3 Gems and a Baby. And I have with me, as always with the Steven Universe episodes, Deadpoolzilla. Say hi, Deadpoolzilla.
Merry Christmas, you filthy animals.
Yeah, take that. And this is one of those flashback episodes. And as you look back, you can actually track the relationship between Greg and Rose through these flashback episodes, which is always cool. Also, it gives you just nice insight into the background of the characters without Steven. But we still have to have it told to us to Steven so we could hear it. And this one deals with a few months after Steven's birth, Rose's death, his first winter, and the Gems come a-calling, and they have no clue, really, what Steven is. And it's kind of funny and cute and also a little tension-filled, to say the least.
Yeah. Can we just talk about real quick that Pearl just nearly killed Steven? Can we just talk about, she considered killing him?
Yeah, and the other two were standing there totally cool with it for a minute. It's like, okay, let's see where this goes. And that's when they decided, like, no, wait, this was Rose's thing. This is what she wanted to do. Not that, hey, don't pull the gem off Steven. It was, I think this is what Rose wants, so we should leave it alone. And we got as close as we can, I suppose, to what would happen if Steven's gem was removed. Because, there's the theory that he would poof. I think he would die. I think it would be similar to pulling a giant chunk out of your stomach. I think...
Yeah, that's...
Oh, yeah,
sorry.
That's okay. No, yeah, what were you saying?
I was just going to say that this is it's a Christmas episode. At the same time, it's pretty dark.
Yeah, I knew it would go I knew it would go in some direction like that. And I guess the scariest thing about it was the fact that there was no malice in that. It was like, oh, hey, this is weird. Let's fix it. It came out of a lack of understanding. Because Garnet's thinking, like, oh, this has got to be a fusion or something, because that's the closest thing I can wrap my head around. And, Amethyst just straight up thinks she shapeshifted. And they all think, from where they come from, this has got to be it. And they're all wrong. And they almost kill baby Steven because of it.
The moment I heard the title for this episode, I was literally like, yeah, we're going to see Pearl possibly have some disdain for baby Steven.
Yeah. And you know what? They didn't really go in that direction. She really didn't have any malice towards him. She was just, I think dealing with it pretty good, considering. I like the fact that they all brought gifts that were not completely correct for a baby. And Amethyst came close by getting diapers, but they were, Depends for old people. Because she couldn't tell the difference. Like, yeah, it's diapers for people. That's right.
My question is, did they just steal it? Because I have this weird feeling they don't have any money.
Well, especially back then, because... as the series has been going on, I assume, like, whenever the Gems do use money, it's because they, were given money, from Greg. He works at the car wash. Now he's a millionaire. Which, by the way, he still lives in the van. He's a millionaire, and he still lives in that van. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, talk about humble.
Yeah. So... yeah, they possibly stole that. Because, I'm sure they weren't getting an allowance from Greg then, because they weren't taking care of Steven at that point. So yeah, they probably did take that stuff. But let's see. I also really enjoyed the song, frankly, which is I love how Rebecca Sugar's work tells character through song, and I think it does it sometimes better than some musicals I've seen. And this is just a regular episode.
Yeah. it's very clear through just the song that, Greg misses Rose, but at the same time, he's like, well, nothing I can do about that. I'm going to save what I have of her.
Yeah.
Which is Steven.
Yeah. And that's a real thing. People do lose, their spouses, but still have the child. In a lot of cases, it's losing mothers during childbirth, or sometimes it can be losing the father, like maybe soon afterwards for whatever reason. But that's a real emotion that I think this episode touches on, and I think Greg as a character just really always impresses me on how well he handles situations. I mean, granted, this is a couple months afterwards.
I'm going to say this without shame. Greg Universe, best cartoon dad ever.
Oh, yeah, no question. Yeah, I would say so. Amazing dad, amazing guy, and the crap he puts up with in this show, and just kind of lets it roll, and I just handles it. No wonder Steven's such a good kid. No wonder he's such a decent person, because he gets a lot of this stuff from him. I think I enjoyed this episode quite a bit, and I also enjoyed the fact that it revolves around them just kind of huddled together, hanging out in the house like that.
Yeah, and it's so weird. Like, well, not weird, I should say, but it's a nice little contrast to see where they were back then and where they are now.
Yeah. That's
also, did you notice that they were wearing somewhat of the costumes they were wearing in the pilot?
Amethyst was more like the pilot outfit. Garnet and Pearl looked more like season 1 costumes.
Yeah, okay. I was just thinking, because I was thinking to myself, that is not her season 1 outfit. Oh, it's the pilot outfit.
Well, like Amethyst, she has this thing where I guess in that form, like, her sweater was pulled up correctly. And then eventually it started, like, pulling down, which is kind of weird because it's part of her body. She's a shapeshifter, but maybe that's how she was just feeling. So it just started to get sloppier and sloppier. But yeah, that was definitely Pearl's and Garnet's first outfits in the season 1 series, anyway.
Yeah, it's always interesting. Like, sometimes I love how Rebecca Sugar and the rest of the crew put little hints that original pilot. Like, remember when the first time Pearl got poofed, and then when she was regenerating, her one was.
Yeah, I know, and there's actually the form. There's still one form that we haven't seen yet. That I'm waiting to see pop up. I'm guessing probably in her origin flashback episode. We saw several different forms of the character, like the previous season 1, the pilot, and then one we still haven't seen, and finally, her current form, which I really like her costume.
Yeah.
But I think that's all I have for this episode. Do you have anything else about this one?
Other than the little reference they had to Connie's birthday present with what Garnet said about the whole rat, it looks like it's a rat box, and whatever.
Yeah.
This was a really fun episode. Of course, there was some dark turns, and of course, the feels are always expected for episodes such as these.
Yeah. Yes, quite a bit. And it was a nice, mostly kind of quiet episode to finish out the year on. And this is going to be the last new episode of 2016. They're going to obviously take weeks or maybe a couple months off. Not sure when they'll return, but it doesn't seem like it's going to be too long. It's going to be like an average hiatus. So hopefully... have you heard anything?
I have this horrible feeling that when we come back, it's going to be something terrible.
Well, something terrible is building. If you listen to the closing theme song, it's creating like this new ominous theme song, and like they put together, like for the first 3 seasons, the Love Like You theme. I love how they slowly put that together in their closing theme. Now they're putting together a new closing theme, and it does sound creepier and more intense, and I'm not sure when we're going to see that play out. So I saw a interesting fan video that it's actually the Corruption song.
is both terrifying and cool at the same time.
Yeah. I watched that earlier today, a video about it, talking about the closing theme. And that makes sense, especially if we're building through the second half of the series. That would make a lot of sense if the corruption was in part a song that was sung all over the world, corrupting and destroying all the gems as we knew them. Yes.
I have a really good feeling that we are going to finally figure out what the diamonds did to Earth 1,000 years ago. We are in this season. I am pretty sure we are going to get that answer.
That would make sense. Just going on the assumption that the show is going to be 5 seasons, this would be a good time to play that out. And then, of course, season 5 would be the conclusion to everything. That is, if that's the plan. I mean, they could be planning additional seasons afterwards. Who knows? But that definitely would make sense. So this was a good way to end the year, and lots of stuff happened this year. Lots of major twists and turns in character development, and just a really nice, quiet, happy episode with accidental baby attempted murder. So yeah, you can't say that about any other cartoon Christmas show this year. But
take that, Charlie Brown Christmas.
Yeah, did you almost kill a baby? No, okay. Yeah, it was a sweet episode, and it did definitely show like how the characters had grown. Even during the course of like the timeline of the TV series, we've seen them grown. But Stephen brings up the point that the Gems and Greg have greatly changed as people since then. Even though the Gems are resistant to change, it's like they have been changing. Pearl, Garnet, and Amethyst aren't exactly the same people as they were in the flashback.
Yeah. But all in all, I love this episode, and it's a great way to close out this dumpster fire of a year.
Yes, let's close it out. All right, Deadpoolzilla and I will be back once they bring back new episodes. I presume maybe in January or February. And then I will be back with more Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I don't know, soon. Maybe when you click on the next video from Geekvolution. Who knows? So, in honor of Steven Universe at Primetime Crisis, Deadpoolzilla and I would like to tell you happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and all that jazz. Anything else you want to say?
Nope, other than push the button, Lindsay.